We want to go ahead and move into our Who's Who section of the program. So we are going to go ahead and let Charjanae and Veronica go ahead and share with us about the success coaches and what they do.
So I'm going to go ahead and stand up if that's okay. How are y'all doing? Nice to see you. Okay, we're going to try it again. Good morning. Nice to see you. Good to see you. Great. My name is Dr. Charjanae Lindsay. I am one of the success coaches. Really briefly about myself, I am a former professor, so I understand the work that you do. And so I wanted to make sure that I shared that. Before coming to FTCC, I worked in higher education and student affairs with a background in diversity education and all that sort of work as well. So I could be your connection if you're interested in talking about some of those issues as well. And so I'll turn it over to my colleague so she can introduce herself really briefly as well.
Good morning. My name is Veronica Hino Henderson. I'm success coach for college transfer number 2. A little bit about me. I am a professional certified life coach outside of FTCC for personal and professional development and small business development. I come from government contracting and a background in HR, and I've worked in higher education as a military academic advisor. That's my other passion, is also helping the military population. So I'm just going to get right into what we do as success coaches. So I'm excited to be here and meet a lot of you because I know names based on alerts that we receive from the instructors. So I will tell you a funny little joke. As we're working with some of the students, they're asking me, can you recommend an instructor for a certain class? So I'm putting a shameless plug for one instructor, Sonny Kelly, for comm classes, and that's because we had the pleasure of speaking to a couple of his classes last semester. Dr. Lindsay and I both are new. She started in January, I started in February, and so we wanted to get to know the faculty members and the students to let them know who we are as success coaches and what services we provide. Now, the other shameless plug is I have not met most of you, but based on the alerts and the notes that I receive, in those alerts is how I'm referring students to take your class. So you may thank me or you may not thank me for that. So, because I believe if you send an alert based on some of your information that's provided, you have a vested interest in that particular student. And that is why we're standing up here today. I tell people that this is not a job for me, this is a ministry. We take the holistic approach when we're working with the students. So we're not only looking at the academic aspect of what they do, but we're looking at the personal aspect, we're looking at their long-range goal. What is it you want to do once you leave FTCC and how we can get you there? So I'm going to pause and let Dr. Lindsay talk a little bit. I don't want to say too much. Go ahead.
No, that's great. My colleague shared a lot of what we do, but additional pieces that we also do with students is that we work in a partnership with our students. So we are not going to do the work for them, but we're going to present them with options and then ask them to follow up with us with some of the things that they're going to do. So to kind of connect how we work with alerts versus kind of some of our other work is that once we get the alert and we get the information and we contact and we reach out to the students, we often will set up an appointment with a student and have them come in and have a conversation with us about the career trajectory, where they think they want to go. Is the program the right fit? Are they doing the right program? What is their ideas and their aspirations? And we always say we want them to get what they want, not what we want. So we want to help them with their path, their goals. And we might push them and challenge them a little bit. We do that as well. But often it is what the student is setting out to do. We kind of help them connect all of those pieces. And Ms. Veronica talked a little bit about that holistic approach because we recognize what happens outside of the classroom impacts what happens inside the classroom. So we take all of that information and we come up with a plan for our students. That might mean we connect them to other resources. We might connect them to folks outside of the institution if we feel like that's necessary and needed. We definitely are proponents of therapy and counseling. So if we feel like a student might benefit from that, we might suggest that and provide resources to them. We might also say, here's some other options for you to think about and help them kind of collaborate with us and with other resources to get the best results that they need to be successful.
So we would like to be invited to each and every one of your classrooms this coming semester to just have about maybe 10 to 15 minutes, if that, of your time in the classroom's time so we can introduce ourselves to the students and let them know what services we provide. And again, I have to go back to Dr. Kelly, and I did meet, and I forgot her name. I've met 2 other instructors, and of course I know Dennis, but there were a couple of students that Dr. Lindsay and I met in Dr. Kelly's class that we were able to help beyond the academic piece. So that is what we do. We take the holistic approach, as we both have said, but we look at every student as an individual student. They're not all the same, and their needs are different. So we hope that this coming semester, once we get our footing and get established in our classes, that we can get invited to come in and speak to your class, just to let them know who we are and how we can help them and partner with you as well. We want to thank you for your time.
I just want to say one more thing. Ms. Veronica and I have no ownership over students, so if you feel like a certain student would work better with one or the other of us, please reach out to the person that you feel like is going to best benefit your student. We want them to get what they need, and so if they feel more comfortable with one or the other of us, that's fine too. And sometimes we share students, so that's fine.
Any questions? Not everybody at one time.
I know, we did such a fantastic job, there's no questions left.
Any questions? Yes,
Yes.
ma'am. Yes.
Yes.
Yes, just email me with the section, well, the times and the days, and we will make sure we put it on our calendar. And we are truly a team, and I guess we became that because we were also new and trying to figure things out and make a difference here. So just email us and we'll come. You tell us how much time. If you give us 5 minutes, we'll take 5 minutes. Whatever you give us, we'll just be appreciative of whatever time we have to get in front of the students. Anybody else? Yes, sir.
So what about for online classes? How would that look?
We have Microsoft Teams, we have Zooms. You just send us a link, you tell us what time, and we'll be there. Although I'm a little shy, I will definitely be there to help out.
Yeah, she's the shy one of the
Yeah.
two of us. Sure.
Anybody else? Yes, sir. Contact information, we will get it to you.
Yeah, we'll bring
Yeah.
our business cards.
Yeah, we
and
didn't
leave them
bring
all on
our
the
business
table.
cards because we just assumed everybody knew who we were, but yeah. But we'll make sure you have it, yeah. Any other questions? One other thing, and I know we keep closing, but let me just go back to the alerts for a minute. I think it was Dennis or maybe another instructor where there was an issue with the student. Just because you send an alert does not mean that you don't have to call us. If you're concerned about a particular student or how that situation is being handled, please pick up the phone and either call us so we can talk about it and work through that situation with that student and get them the resources they need, or to figure out if they really do need the resources that they're requesting. So we're here to work with you on behalf of the student. Again, thank you for your time.
Thank you.
Hi, everybody. I'm Mary DeRizio. I'm the Director of Library Services. I started February 1st. This is Chris O'Belly. She's the lead instructional librarian. We both have our masters in library science. What we want to tell you about is how important that we feel the library is for you. So we're here for you. We want you to use us. We will offer specialized instruction classes in our database for you. We have our own classroom that you can bring your class to us, or we can come to you either in person or virtually and help your students work through our databases.
We also go to the classrooms to provide library instruction at other high school campuses. So if any of you guys are at the high schools, we do drive there. So if you need any orientations there, you will be able to see me there.
If you're working on a special project and you want the students to do research, let us know ahead of time, and that way we can prepare for that and be able to show specific databases that will help them with their research, help them to do the citations. We also wanted to tell you on our webpage, we also have 24-hour library help. So when we close at 9 o'clock, we're open till 9 p.m. Monday through Thursday and 7 on Friday. We have a spot on our webpage where your students can go in and chat with a real librarian all night long. It is not us, but we're good, but we're not that good. So Chris is going to bring it up for you. And we're trying something new this year. So next Wednesday, we're going to have our first ever faculty and staff open house at the library. So we've got flyers we'll put in the back, but it'll be from 9 to 10 next Wednesday, 9 to 11 next Wednesday. We will have food, we will have prizes, we have a scavenger hunt. And when you come in, you'll be entered into a door prize. We have a scavenger hunt with 5 points across the library. If you go to each one, you'll get a sticker, and then your scavenger hunt will be entered into another grand prize. So the staff have donated items for baskets for you. We've tried to make them faculty-centric. What else? And yes, there will be food, free food.
Well, I don't have much to add. I'm just some general information about us. Our library hours are always updated on the website. So right now, between August 1st and August 12th, we're 8 to 5. Just let your students know that we do provide virtual reference, but it's only through our emails. So if they are like those laid out people, that does research or their assignments at night, this is the chat service that Mary was discussing earlier. If you click on this little icon here, right now it's offline, but it will be online from 5 p.m. until 8 a.m. tomorrow morning.
And yeah, they are real librarians on the other end. We pay for this service. What else do you want to show?
Also, I want to show you guys the student resources page where we actually have some LibGuides. You can actually, go to your general discipline, and we do have some individual LibGuide resources for your students to use. It has information on databases that may be specific to your course. Let's see if I can just go to one. As an example.
Right now, we are down 2 librarians. We're in the process of hiring, but Chris and I will do everything we can to make sure your students have what they need. We also, in the library, have study rooms, computer access, and we have something called a book a librarian. So if they walk in and they're having trouble researching, we'll come out and sit with them and help them find the research they need.
Yeah, not only just the research, but if you have students who have trouble with citations or correct citations in MLA or APA format, send them to us. That's usually what students need help with the most. We will sit with them so they can get the correct formats if it's APA or MLA. This is just a typical LibGuide. This one was, I think it was advertising and graphic design. So we have like the general databases listed here. They will actually get this information in detail during the orientations, and then we just have some, books available in the print collection just to give them an idea of whatever materials that we have within the library.
Well, Chris also created one on plagiarism at Dean McCrae's request. And we can do that if you find there's a specific area that your students are struggling with. We can look into researching that.
Yes, so we do have a plagiarism LibGuide. If you were to ever, schedule us for an orientation, we'll actually show you how to actually get to this LibGuide, or I can just send you the link. Just send me an email, and I can send you this link, and you can embed it on Blackboard if you need to.
Another thing the library has is we are now the art gallery for the fine arts department. So if you want to come walk through, the art display is constantly changing. It's beautiful. Some of the pieces are for sale. And we also have corresponding books, art books that you can check out. We have our displays change every month, our new books change. And if there are books that you feel your students would benefit from or your department, send me an email. We will, if we can, we will order it for the shelf so people can check it out. We cannot order textbooks, but if there's anything else you feel we need, just let me know. I will order it, all right? Anything else?
I can't think of anything else at the moment.
Questions? Yes.
The slide password is scheduled to change.
Yes.
But the previous director, Larry, he did have it changed in which they can log on with their Blackboard information. So you should be able to go to select Fayetteville Technical Community College, and then they should be able to log on through with their Blackboard username and password.
Okay.
Yeah.
A follow-on question to the online night librarian or.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Are they prepared to assist students with the password issues to get into the database?
Not particularly for our school. So that would be us. Because those are state librarians. I mean, they will have access to NC Live, but just not how, they will be able to access, not how students will be able to access it through
So
the
they'll help
library.
with research,
Yeah.
citations.
Mhm.
All right. Ma'am? I could order a couple. It would be a lot to order more than that. Are you talking about for your entire class? So when you email me, tell me you need more than one, and I'll order as many as I can. And when we do order books, we will let you know when they're in. And that way, and if you want us to put them on hold for you, we can do that also. So if there is a specific book your class wants on hold, do you want to explain the hold?
Yeah, so we do have reserved materials available. You can send a textbook, but it has to come from you guys. We can't purchase textbooks, but if you want to reserve a textbook for in-library use only, you can do that, in which we can just have it on the reserve shelves just for your students. Also, we can order, like you said, the books, and we have it on reserve for your classes for assignments, so it can always be available. So like Mary says, we can't order like a bunch of books, but we can try to make sure we control, how those books are checked out so they can be returned so your other students, can borrow the books.
So we could set it up where they could check it out and leave the library, or if it is something you want everyone to have access to, we can say in-house use only.
Yeah, or you can say like a 7-day loan.
Right, we could
instead
shorten
of
that.
2 weeks.
All right, any other questions? All right, well, please come see us, and please come to our open house next week. Like I said, there's free food and prizes. All right.
Just one. Okay, thank you. Good morning, everyone. Good morning. Hi, I am Karika Chavis, and I am the director for the Student Learning Center here on our main campus. So what our Student Learning Center is, we offer one-on-one tutoring, face-to-face, as well as virtual. So we are located in the Harry F. Shaw Virtual College Center. And right now, one of my staff members, Ms. Socorro Diaz, she is handing out our brochures that we have that gives detailed information of what we offer students, what time we're open, and other resources that we have. But when your student comes to the Student Learning Center, what they'll experience is they come into a very welcoming environment. So this environment is for them to come in, and if they have questions that they need answered, or if they're missing a concept, they can come into the Student Learning Center and get one-on-one instructional assistance. So like I said, we're an open environment. We have desks that they can come in and sit at. We have computers that they can use, and we also have laptops that we hand out to them as well. So it's a great addition to Fayetteville Tech for students to be able to come get this tutoring. It doesn't cost anything additional. So it's already taken out of their tuition, so it's nothing additional. So that's why we always encourage students to come to the Student Learning Center, because if they went out and tried to get a private tutor, it could be between $20, $30 per hour. So we want them to come and use the services that we provide for them. Additionally, as I said before, we have NetTutor, which is our online tutoring service. So if students are at home on the weekend and they have some questions, they can use NetTutor. And NetTutor is 24/7 for English and math. For the other areas such as chemistry, Spanish, they can go look at the times of the tutors on the website, and it'll give them when a tutor will be available. And NetTutor, just so you know, is accessed through their Blackboard account. So each semester, you have to go in and enable NetTutor on your account. I don't know why it can't just be set up the whole time, but it doesn't work that way, so you have to do it each semester, and that's just so your students will have access to NetTutor. And so let me pass it. This is Ms. Brenda Harris, and see if she has any additional things she wants to say.
I do. I look forward to working with your students. We have instructors that work in a variety of areas. We work in math, biology, accounting, Spanish. There are not too many courses that we cannot help your students with. I encourage you to send them to us so that we can work with them. Also, we have intercollegiate athlete collaboration where we're working with our student athletes. We want to get more curriculum students in there so we can work with them. The best help is one-on-one, where we can break down the material, help them in the areas that they need assistance. So please, please, please send your students to us. If they don't want to come in, they don't feel comfortable, I do suggest a NetTutor or a virtual session with us, but we do better one-on-one with your students. Also, I want to invite you to volunteer in the Student Learning Center if you want. Students love seeing their teachers going the extra mile to come and visit the Student Learning Center to work with them. Some of our instructors have reserved rooms, and they work with their students in the Student Learning Center. We have a video right now. If you can see on our website, we have specialized labs as well in science, writing, and math. So in addition, we call where I work the hub. In the hub, we have every subject area that is on campus, but then we have our specialized labs where we have a writing lab, a math lab, and a science lab. Some of our instructors have also volunteered in the labs, especially our science lab. We can definitely use some chemistry assistance. I've done some collaborations with our nursing department where I work with the nursing students to help them pass their dosage calc. They can't continue on if they don't pass the dosage calc. So if you have special students that you know need assistance, definitely send them to us, and we'll be happy to help and work alongside of you to ensure their success while they're at Fayetteville Tech.
And so we do have our writing and communications lab. So if you have a student and they don't understand how to write a thesis statement, and you've worked with them or whatever it may be, and they still need extra assistance, you can send them to our writing lab, our main hub, and they can get one-on-one assistance in learning how to structure their thesis statement. Because sometimes students, they may need to hear it more than once. So that's why we encourage students to come and get assistance from our tutors that we have in the lab. And additionally, we do outreach. So you may be hearing from us at some point, and what we do is we come into your classroom, we take maybe 5 to 10 minutes just to let your students know that we are here to help them at the Student Learning Center, and they can get one-on-one help. And before Brenda shows the video, I just wanted to talk to you real quick about our student referrals. So ideally, how we would want our student referrals to work is if you have a student and you see maybe a deficiency or a concept that they're not, they don't know how to do, maybe structure in a paper, you can refer your student to the Student Learning Center. So you would speak with your student one-on-one and say, you know, I think you might need a little bit more help. I'm going to refer you to the Student Learning Center. And you can refer students to the Student Learning Center through faculty fill-in forms. If you go there, it has Timekeeper, and you would click on there, and that's how you would refer a student. But most of the times, sometimes students already know about us, they heard about us, and they just show up on their own. So that's great as well. We will let them let them log in. And what happens is it's going to send you a referral. It's going to say, Johnny came to the Student Learning Center and he signed in for his English 111 class. Do you have any additional comments about what Johnny may need in the classroom? And that's just for you to write some additional notes. So be aware that comes out throughout the academic year. So we just need those referrals returned, because that's how the Student Learning Center earns FTEs for Fayetteville Tech. So it's very important that we get those referrals turned back in. Okay. And so that's just, like I said, that's just how we earn our FTEs. And so it's important, because sometimes we have to chase instructors down sometimes, just because, you know, it's just something that they're not used to seeing or they don't understand. And if you have any questions, you can always contact me to walk you through how to return your referrals.
But it's located under faculty, staff.
Fill-in forms.
Fill-in form. Just go to Timekeeper.
Yes, and so when you click into Timekeeper, you're using your Active Directory. It's not a new password or anything like that. So you just log in and you go to your referral queue, and you can see what students logged in and what they said they needed help with. Yes, so we are going to go ahead. We had this video created by Media Services last semester, well, in the springtime. And so we just want to let you see how we work with students when they come to the Student Learning Center.
The Student Learning Center at Fayetteville Technical Community College is a source of academic support that encompasses all of FTCC's curriculum students.
When you visit us, you'll discover a place where you can ask questions and receive answers without feeling embarrassed. Whether you just graduated from high school a few months ago or haven't been a part of a classroom setting in 20 years, you will feel at home once you enter the center. We encourage independent learning, as well as provide tutoring and supplemental instruction to deepen your comprehension. We have qualified instructors to help you meet your academic goals. They work to bridge the gap between learning and understanding. Each instructor has the academic background and insight to work closely with you. We are here to assist you with one-on-one tutoring in English, math, science, computer information, accounting, Spanish, and many more.
This is the accounting equation.
We are committed to your success and to helping you reach your academic goals. In fact, because each of you learns differently, we recognize the challenges you face with each semester. Rather than waiting for a series of problems to arise, we welcome your visits whenever you have questions or need assistance. The atmosphere is relaxed and conducive to learning. We have computers, laptops, and group instruction rooms, as well as comfortable seating. There are also mobile whiteboards and whiteboard tables to promote interactive learning. We also provide NetTutor online tutoring service. NetTutor is available 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. This service is available through FTCC student Blackboard accounts. Furthermore, we offer 3 specialized labs in the same area as the main center. The math, science, and writing labs provide the same one-on-one experience you gain in the main center, however, in a more personalized setting. Our services are free and there is no appointment necessary. Simply provide your FTCC student ID for easy access to the sign-in kiosk. We also offer Midterm Madness and Final Exam initiatives, where students are given snacks, drinks, and an opportunity to win door prizes whenever you stop by during your exams. When you visit us, you are on track to an amazing learning experience.
Follow the examples in an orderly manner so that the author of
The Student Learning Center is in the Harry F. Shaw Virtual College Center, also known as VCC. The hours are 8 a.m. to 7 p.m. Monday through Thursday, and 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. on Friday.
Hi, I'm Karika Chavis, the director of the Student Learning Center. We invite you to utilize our services to enhance your academic success.
If you have any questions, please feel free to contact us at 910-678-8266 or Learning Center at faytechcc.edu.
Remember, we're here for you. Does anyone have any questions that I can answer? Yes.
Would it be possible to send out by email a little how to set up NetTutor? Because I found some, when I first set it up, I found some difficulties, and maybe there are people who are having difficulties figuring out which little things to check. If you could send out like a little information, things to the instructors,
So I do have a document because from David Riddle, who is our Blackboard administrator. So that is something that I can get to Dean McCrae, that then she can filter out to you. You also, it tells you step by step how to enable NetTutor on your Blackboard. So gotcha, you're welcome. Any other questions that I can answer?
I do know that quite a few instructors in the math department, they put it under resources or tools, the link for the students to access. So I know depending on your course, the NetTutor button is located in different areas. So one place they can check is tools or resources for that tab, but definitely.
So yeah, we do find that because we have different areas. Sometimes it would be on the left-hand panel of when you first enter Blackboard. Sometimes it's under tools, resources. So, but we always guide students if they call and they don't understand where it is. But definitely can get that document so everyone understands how to input it.
I want to thank each and every one of you for everything you do for our students. We're here to work alongside of you, not to take your place, but we're here to work with you. So thank you again.
Thank you.
Thank you, ladies. Gotcha. Okay. Well, I do have a little bit of extra time, and they're going to cut me off at about 10:30 so that you all can have a break before our guest speaker arrives. But I do want to give you all some updates, and I want to give you an opportunity to ask questions because I'm sure that you'll have some. They will be carrying the mic out to you all just to answer any questions that you have. We do have several new faculty that started today. I will not introduce them because, of course, they are all they're with HR today. They'll be over there all day today, so I will introduce them tomorrow. We do have one person that is here with us, and that is our FTCC/FSU advisor. Will you please stand, Emerald? So you all, please welcome Emerald to the family. Emerald's office will be located in the UTEC office. So she works for FSU, but she will advise FTCC students here that plan to transfer to FSU. So if you are working with any student or any advisee that plans to transfer to FSU, you now have a person that can sit and work with them and make sure they have a seamless transfer to make sure that they're taking the right classes. What we plan to do, we are doing some restructuring of the UTAC Center, University Outreach. I don't want to call it advising a burden, because I know that it's a lot with your teaching loads and the extra responsibilities that you all have. But I do want an extra resource for you all when you're not available. The UTAC office was great this summer when we didn't have a lot of people on campus. And so maybe during the session that Dennis and I do with the question and answer, I can go over that in a little bit more detail. But I do want to make sure that I go over a couple of more things. We did have 2 faculty members that retired, Mr. Phil Pugh and Sam Zarin from the English department. They retired at the end of July. And Lucas Hahn from the communications department, he will be leaving us this week. He has a new opportunity in another state, and we hate to see him go, but I'm happy for the opportunity that he does have. One of the biggest things that I think will be different for us this semester is we didn't have it pulled up for you, but I will get it emailed out to you along with the other information that some of the speakers have presented you all with, but we will have a divisional hour log. What we have found is that when I started here, I had never heard of a divisional hour. I don't think we ever observed them. Dean Jackson, our former Dean Jackson, found that in the handbook when he was our dean that we were supposed to be observing divisional hours. But what we find is that a lot of us, for the most part, we kind of sit in our offices sometimes with divisional hours. On August 13th, for instance, we have a big high school connections open house, as we do every year. We will need all hands on deck that day. I am asking for a representative from each area. We'll have classrooms for you in the Horace's classroom. When the students have a breakout, they can go to an English room, they can go to a comm room, they can go to a social room, and the students can rotate and they can go in there and they can ask the instructor questions. So we will need faculty members that will represent us that day, and we'll also probably need some extra help in Horace's 616 or in the fine arts area where students can register. We expect to be very busy that day, and the UTAC office will probably not be enough for us. But what you can do, you can start to use those hours as divisional hours. I would much rather you help the division out in those ways than just being in your office all semester. I will not monitor that list. I will have your leadership, your department chairs and your coordinators work with you on if they want to see that at your mid-year check-in. They can also use that as a tool when they evaluate you at the end of the year. But there's just a lot of things that the division needs as a whole, and I would rather for you to be doing those things even if that's not being in your office. Advertising and marketing. I was just talking to Dr. Pash about some marketing, the history department out on Fort Bragg. High school connections, of course, we don't want to overstep any boundaries. There are some opportunities where we can go in the schools and we can market and advertise our own areas, because we have recruiters that talk about the program as a whole, but they can't talk about our programs the way that we can talk about our program or our classes. So any opportunity that you have and that you want to do that, you can log that and use that as your divisional hours. Working with the university, I know Shane interviewed one of the English professors at FSU, because our classes are college transferable, but we also know that we have students in our classes that are not transferring to a university. But talking to industry leaders about what they need in the industry, what are the skills that they want our students to know, you can use those for divisional hours as well. Some way of giving back to the division. This week, some of you have been assigned to serve as scholarship recommendations. To serve on your virtually, I can't let you do divisional hours for that this week because you're on office hours, but later on through the semester, if you are evaluating scholarships, you can use that for divisional hours as well. What we have found is that when what they've done is, usually in our area, they choose leadership to evaluate the scholarships, and it usually ends up being a lot of the scholarships to evaluate. So we figured if we split it out amongst different people, that way we all won't have so many scholarships to evaluate. When it gets to my level, I have to do another step. It's actually 2 other steps after you all do the initial scholarship evaluation. Some of you got an email about that this week. Chandrika says she has 33. I have 10, but I was hoping we set names up that nobody would have 33 because it's a lot. But when you do things like that, you can use those things for divisional hours. So we have some ideas that we have listed there. Of course, you can work with your coordinator or your chair to be a little bit more creative. Some weeks, especially when it's peak time for registration, there will be times that you would just be in your office, or you will do special things for your students where they can do sessions with you. But we want people just serving the division overall. So does anybody have any questions about that? I think it's from 8 to 12, I think. So they'll do the open house in the gym, and it's kind of like they'll do some general information for the students, and then they'll do a breakout. And we usually are just there anyway because there's not really a set time of when they do the breakout. But last year I filled in for an area, and of course the students and the parents were asking me questions that I could not answer because it wasn't my area. So that it would be really helpful if we had a representative from each area to answer the questions, and the students can just come in and out of the classroom. Yes, Rachel? You don't necessarily have to do that. No. It will be a total amount for the semester. But I just kind of ask that you stagger them out. I mean, because like I said, sometimes your department chair or coordinator might have some tasks for you to do. So we kind of want to stagger them out. But if there's opportunities for you to get out and talk to other people on campus or go out in the community talking about our programs or doing something that really helps the division, I would much rather for you to use your divisional hours that way. Does anybody have any other? Yes, Dennis. 8:30 to 12:30. The orientation is 8:30 to 12:30, August the 13th. And again, we usually meet in the gym. I'm waiting on Mr. Malcolm Pace to confirm the rooms that I gave him. And I tried to put them in Horse 616 just so the students could leave from the gym and go in one building and not send them out to so many places. And I had to split those rooms up with Dean Harmon and Dean Novak. So I sent him some classrooms. I hope that's a go. And again, we'll probably need some extra people to help with registration that day because we hope that we're busy. The enrollment is up. And so we want to make sure that we get those students registered as advised and in and out. Any other questions about the division? Yes, Kanie. Yes, ma'am. Any other questions? Okay, if you have any questions that you can think of, if you would please, you can ask your leadership. If you want to stop by my office, have a conversation with me about it. And what we'll do is we'll revisit that at the end of the semester, and we can see how it worked. If you all liked it, if the leadership had liked it, if we see that we're getting some different results, we'll reevaluate that. Yes, Dr. McNair. And like your professional development hours, just make sure that you are watching it throughout the entire semester. Don't try to wait and get them all in December. Just try to look for opportunities of things to do throughout the entire semester. There'll be other opportunities that I will email you all out and I'll let you know, but just try to keep track of that throughout the semester. Yes? I will email it out to you. Any other questions? Yes, Takara. Yes. So if you are doing like some separate conferencing or something that you need to do with your students, because that is very important, you can still do that. Yes, advising at peak times at the center. So the peak times would be, we know that October, will be busy, hopefully, for second 8-week registration. November, December, we'll have advising week that we hope that registration, we'll have peak registration. If you want to tell the center that you're available, you can use those hours as well. We have, they're gonna ask us to do some extended hours, student services, and I can't think of all of the days yet, but they're gonna be doing some extended hours working until 7 p.m. And we're asking the UTAC Center to remain open for that. So if you want to stay and help out, I don't know how busy it'll be, but if you want to stay one day and say you're going to use 2 hours for that, you're the person that's on call, you can use it for that as well. And I asked Mr. Perry, I gave away a lot of my time today, so I'm going to stop for a second, but Mr. Perry is the director of our bookstore, and a lot of you, we haven't been together in about 3 years face-to-face as a division. You did meet we met Charjanae and Veronica via Zoom. Some of you may not remember, but Mr. Perry is always really flexible. He donated some of the gifts for the raffle this afternoon. And when I went over there last week, I said, is there anything that we can help you with? Or maybe the faculty has questions for you. So I have a little bit of extra time. So I'm going to let Mr. Perry, would you like to come up here? Okay. Take as much time as you need.
Good morning, everybody. How are you today? Welcome back. I wanted to have an opportunity just to speak to everybody, really to tell you a little bit about what we do in the bookstore. More than that, we are more than just the FDCC bookstore. We're actually the Department of Auxiliary Services, which means that we do the cafe, we do vending on campus, we run the fan shop out at JP Riddle Stadium. We'll hopefully have a new softball fan shop that we're going to have at JP Riddle Stadium, but then we also do the bookstore. So what that means for you guys specifically, and for the college as a whole, is that we are one of the few independently owned and operated bookstores left in North Carolina. 100% of our revenues go straight back into the school. We fund things like student government, we fund things like student athletics, and we give back to clubs and departments all throughout the campus. So I just wanted to put a face to the name and give you guys a chance to ask me any questions, anything that I can answer for you. Any questions at all about the bookstore or anything that we do on campus? Oh, sure. So we do have some opportunities, especially during our rush times, which is the first 2 weeks of the semester, the week before and the week that the semester starts. If you'd like to come and spend some time to volunteer in the bookstore, you can help us pull books, you can help us interact with students and customer service on the floor, you can help us in anywhere that you'd want to participate. I also encourage faculty that when you are getting ready to start a semester, to come look at your textbooks. We do our best to make sure that everything is stocked and on the shelf and ready to go, but inevitably, as the world is, sometimes things happen and we don't get something on the shelf. The sooner a faculty member comes in and actually checks the textbook, the sooner we can react to help you make sure it's the right materials.